Hello and welcome to episode 7. We haven't been banned yet. We're still here talking every week, every Thursday. We're here. So yeah, welcome to the Mind Over Body podcast, episode 7, where me, Mark, and Jim, and guests from time to time talk about everything that's going on in the week and just have a chat and have a catch up. It keeps the lockdown interesting, let's say. But yeah, so this week it's me, Mark, and Jim, and we will start this week. We'll start with Mark. So, Mark, how's your week been? What's been going on? What's new? Talk to me.
It's all good. All good. It's been a bit of a slow week. However, training's been quite fluid, which is good with what we want. People are starting to come out of the isolation slowly, putting things in place to keep them safe, putting things in place to keep myself safe, training them hard. A few comments where I haven't missed this, along the lines of that. So it's all good. And obviously, I've been speaking to, and hopefully it'll be on the podcast in the future. I spoke to Jason Jones and Jamie. They're basically they organise or run Sparta. I'm not too sure what the role is, but I know they're quite high up. Jim will know more who they are. However, my biggest concern was I've been speaking to Jamie, and hopefully we've been talking all week, and I'll have a sling strap mechanism adaptation to lift a heavier stone. So I'm working on that with him. It might take a few times to go down to where he is in Tamworth.
Tamworth?
Yeah, Tamworth. But
that's a trip.
If I'm going to lift stones, and I'm going to lift as heavy as I can, due to the limitations I've got, I'm not going to be able to get... See, the stone could be not so heavy, but I just haven't got the coverage with my arm to get around it, to get it off the floor, and then obviously get it onto the platform. So with this sling, or strap, or whatever we're going to call it, whatever it's supposed to be, really, it's pretty much going to help me lift whatever stone I like. So that t-shirt I seen the other week, just pick it up. I can just walk up to the stone, pick it up, and that's what I'm working towards for myself. To get this sling done as soon as possible, so I can start throwing Atlas stones here, there, and everywhere. So hopefully that'll be a good week, and hopefully that'll be good when it comes. It will be coming soon. Hopefully he'll be on here to talk about it and what he does and how he's done. Where he's designed these actual stone forearm covers which help grip the stone. I will be getting one of them. Just to protect this arm. I've had a bit of injury with this, so I've been told I can't lift, which is like torture for me, because it's how I deal with myself and my mental state, and if I'm getting angry, that's how I go and deal with it. It's been a hard week, really. So training other people has been a little bit harder, because I can't train myself, if that makes sense. So I'm a little bit...
I bet they love you.
I bet you do, but you know, and that's what I'm there for, and that's what is going to happen. Unfortunately, I've been training legs, core, but there's not much I can do, so I don't really want to tear any muscle from the bone in my forearm. So I'm trying to keep it as much as big, because I won't be lifting nothing after that. So yeah, so it's been a good week. Been doing the camper. Camper's semi-shell inside done. All we need to do now is get the electrician in. He can wire it all up, paint it, and then off I trot wherever I decide to go. But yeah, it's been a good week.
Good. Sounds like a busy one, to be fair. But yeah, steady away, lad. Jim?
Yeah.
What's been going on, lad? What's new? What's going on in world of Jim?
Total opposite to Mark, to be honest. It's been a quiet week. got that bored on Sunday that I completed another 2 courses, which I'd kept for weekdays, because now, obviously, yesterday there was literally nothing at all to do. Bored out of my school. Pretty much that's it. The only good thing so far is obviously Mark covered about Jason and the other stones that and Jamie is that we took delivery of the Atlas stones yesterday. So that was a bit of a head turner in my front street when an articulate truck pulls up and a forklift truck comes off the back just to pick stones up, when Turner in my front trying to come out and think, what on earth is he getting delivered, you know? And I
I'm delivering an house.
They were quite expensive garden ornaments. I just told them, you know. So.
How did you move them, Jim?
That was the next thing, you know. The forklift truck could only get to my front garden. The stones had to be at the back end of my back garden. So I had to offload 5 tons.
How are you feeling?
You should have filmed it.
I had to take the wooden pallet through to the back end of the garden, then the tyres, and then in order I had to carry the 45 kilogram, the 55 kilogram, the 75 kilogram, and the 110 kilogram stone. So the first 4 weren't too bad. When I attempted to pick the 5th one up, I got it an inch off the floor and thought, no, I'm best off rolling this one. So the roll mat came out and I had to roll it to 40 metres up the garden. So, but yeah. So the roll mat came out and I had to roll it to 40 metres up the garden. So, but yeah.
Mark's gone.
What was that?
I said I would have asked you for a hand, but obviously you hurt, aren't you?
Yeah, I can't. I just watched you laugh and struggle. So,
well, they got put in place. I had a little bit of a mess about with him yesterday. Obviously, I think it's like a lot of things with the Highland Games. Obviously, and with stuff like that. Technique. Obviously, you definitely with the stones, you definitely need strength, but it's the strength alone will not pick them up.
No,
no, I disagree. Some it is, but like it is more technical than what people think. It's not just about picking them up. It's not about just seeing how strong you are. It's about using your body as a full momentum movement. So on the lift, you need to be throwing it on the top. So you don't lift it with you sort of get it on the barrel from your legs. So there's 2 parts: getting it from the floor to your knees, and then from the knees onto the barrel or onto the platform, whatever we're throwing them on. So it is a bit technical, and we will get amongst that.
I got a bit of a shock when I come to the 110. Was I obviously got my arms under it, but as you know yourself, when it's you cannot get it all the way under while it's on the floor. You've got to sort of that little flick to get it like an inch or 2 off the floor, so you can get your hands all the way under. But once I felt the weight of that 110 kilogram, was when I thought, I daren't give it that bit more.
I walk up on 100 kilo on a deadlift, so it ain't going to be out for me until I get around that strap. So I'm good.
It was more I didn't want to drop it onto my finger ends first go and then sort of.
I would have laughed at you. I would have shown genuine concern as I was crying with laughter. I would have. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm not.
Moving on from the stones is obviously we've had planned for a couple of weeks now to go up to Dundee on Saturday to pick up some equipment that we bought. And I got an email this morning to say that the extra kit that we were looking for is now being added to the list and can also be picked up. And as 2 added bonuses, should I say, is we've managed to get a 100-metre tug-of-war rope, competition rope. And probably the best bonus of it all is that when we get up there, we're obviously going to have a nice lunch made for us before we head back.
And you're driving back because I'm having a whiskey with Charlie.
That's you told, mate. That's you told.
Yes, you are.
I'll just get to the whiskey first. I'll have a drink on the way up so I can drive back.
No, you won't.
Oh, I'll top it off. See, I'm all about giving, giving, and giving. Never think of myself, this, that, and the other. I come across a bloke on Instagram the other day that had something that I thought, nice mark there, you know, would like. So I've actually purchased an official map of Scotland with every official heavy stone that can be lifted marked out on the map. So, future road trip.
When the camper's done, we're off.
Okay.
When the camper's done, we're off. I have been wanting to do that for so long, right? And I could only find 3 of them or 4 of them. And we've seen half of them as we went back from John O'Groats. So, how many? All 30?
I think there's about 20, 22 of them.
Yeah, there's 22 stones in there.
On the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I know there's one I'm not going to, which I found on Google, and that was on some little island off the coast of Scotland. I thought, I'm not swimming, so when I swim, I go around in circles, so I ain't doing that.
The hard thing will be when you start swimming, you'll be going round and round the island.
Exactly, there's no point in doing it. I swim. I'll just go in circles when I swim. Not happening.
So Mark doesn't need to go to the swimming pool, he just buys an 8-foot paddling pool.
Yeah, just going round in circles. What are you trying to say? I come up with the joke. You're meant to be ripping me. You're meant to be ripping me first. I come up with the rip first on me. So go on now. Boring. Get your own banter. Come on.
Remember?
Hey. Now, boy, are you taking the mic now because you're using 2 arms? I do that, you see.
Who's going to get us banned?
He hasn't swore yet. He hasn't swore yet.
Don't make me swear.
We're trying, though.
I know you are.
Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up.
Go away.
But yeah, so Dundee Saturday. What have you bought? What have you bought again? You bought literally everything that you need. But like, you could literally put a Highland Games event on, couldn't you?
Yeah, that was the plan. But we could actually do that because we got every bit of weight for every discipline, for every able-bodied, disability, male, female. We've got everything now, and to be fair, there's a few issues that we've got that we will address on Saturday. However, what we've actually, I want to rephrase that. What Jim has actually done for his team goes too far beyond to even give him recognition. He's pretty much done everything in regards to organising the events for next year for the team to go, which all need to be like T'd and dotted and crossed off. He's done everything. Hats off to you, mate. Can't wait for next year because you kept me busy. You kept me motivated to do this. You kept me going. I was, how upset I was about Highland getting cancelled and how our little tour was getting cancelled. And next year, well, outshine this year's tour by far, and I can't wait. So, I'm off to you, mate. That's off to you, mate. You've smashed it well and truly out the bag, and people who aren't aware of what you've done need to know, I think, for what you've done for them. But we'll sort that out on Saturday, mate. And I just want to say a big thank you, to be fair.
No, well, thanks, obviously, for it, but obviously I didn't day for the thanks. Like, so far...
No, you don't. That's the point. That's what people need to see. People, you're not doing this to get any recognition. You're doing this so we can compete in so many games next year. It's unreal.
My long-term goal is obviously getting this is literally just step one. Step two is to get a recognised team. So that's what I've been looking at to get either a registered charity, a CIC, things like that, which obviously involve having a mission statement, having a committee of
you set it up as like it's like it's in a sense it's like a business. Oh, is it a charity? It's like a charity set out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So obviously to do that will obviously help basically get the team recognised, you know?
Yeah.
No point having a group of people that want to compete when we haven't got a recognised team that we can then go to the organisers and say, right, we want to compete. Time to change that sort of time to change the way that they've been running things for 400, 500, 600 years. When I don't want them to sort of shoot us down at the first step by saying, right, well, have you got a team? Have you got this? Have you got that?
Yeah.
I want all that space. So
Well, yeah, you want all your chickens in a bag.
Yeah, because we don't have that problem. We don't have that problem when we go to May games, because we go to May games as part of Health for Heroes. That's the Health for Heroes team. So that's where if we want to go to the other 5 events that we've been invited to. Now, unfortunately, the Health for Heroes won't go to that event. If they can, that's fine. But the 5 events that we've got that we can go to apart from the May games, we can't just turn up individually. We need a team.
You need to have a team.
So I understand where he's coming from, and the involvement that he's done is, people need to see it, mate. That's all I'm saying. People need to see what you've done. People need to. I know we've done it between us, really, and we've gone through all the planning of all getting all the fundraising, all the money, getting all the kit. You've done the majority of that. I just turned up and threw a mile. But I'm not going to turn around and not back you up with anything that you need help with. Do you know what I mean? So it's my team as well. That's how I see it. It's my team as well.
It's and adding added bonus, and one of the team members, Teresa, one of our female throwers, actually contacted today, and she has managed to secure basically a top of the range gazebo from Coleman's, which is getting sent to us from America in the next week or two. So it's a pop framed gazebo
and that's what the team's all about. People get to see. People will get out what they put in, and you don't have to put money in. You don't have to put. You just have to put the time in. Just like Jim and me and Teresa. Well done, babe. Well done. Good girl.
She's working on getting us a second one. But obviously the plan was to have one. She's done that, and she thinks she can get us a second one, so she's going to try, which will be good, because that means when we train, we can have sort of our layout where we've got the seated throws with the obviously seated frame tied into the ground. We can have sort of a gazebo there with their kit in, and then not far further along the field where we've got the standing throws, we can have the gazebo for them, so not everything's under one gazebo. We can still train throughout across the whole field.
Yeah.
So that you see each person or sort of each event has got its own sort of resting area, equipment area, first aid area, whatever it's at. On order, I've got 2 team flags on order. So I'll be looking for some form of telescopic flag poles.
I've got a truck there that needs one.
Well, it's all.
He's being serious. He's being serious.
I'll have a flag. Send me there, I'll pay for one.
Well, we'll need you a truck for when we're training, and anyway to transport all of the kit across that field. So you can always have the flag on there, can't you?
So that's my flag then.
For now.
For now.
Okay. Oh, it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas.
I've got basically by Saturday, I'll have 5 stones and a choice of equipment that I can use to throw all day. So I'm happy chap.
By Monday, the team will have and own one of every bit of equipment that they need, other than a caber, which we have obviously got what we can use. That's the only piece of equipment that we won't own ourselves.
Yeah. What's a caber?
Caber is a big long, it's like a telegraph pole that you've got to flip and land on a clock face.
Oh, is it like a log throw?
Let's not talk about the caber, shall we?
Let's talk about the caber.
Let's not talk about the caber.
Is it like the log throws?
Yeah.
It's a caber
Like,
toss.
Yeah, so like a tree trunk throws, as I would call it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'll do. Let's not talk about that.
Is that a bit of a raw nerve, Mark?
Yes, because it was the only thing I couldn't do last year, and it really annoyed me. I could get it off the floor, I could get it ready to run with, but it just kept falling off. So it was my aim this year was to get it sorted. But because we haven't been able to get it, I'll reluctantly not train for it for now. It was one of them ones where I tried and tried and tried, and yet it still just didn't work for me. However, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible because Davey Dent last year, he managed to get it up and he managed to toss it, and he's sat in a wheelchair, so no excuse. It's just a technique that I've got to find. Instead of trying to do what everybody else was doing, this is my problem, you see.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone with one arm toss a caber. So I'm trying to think of a way of how to
work out. Yeah.
My way.
It's like the big stone. Like adapting it slightly so you can literally get around the stone.
Yeah, well, this is a 20-foot long pole that you've got to get from underneath, and you've got to toss it forward. So it's having a play to think about how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
About the team at the minute is obviously not only are we asking or approaching the Highland Games Association to sort of adapt their games for adaptive athletes. In the background, us adaptive athletes and adaptive team are actually also adapting the way that we can throw this stuff. So, such as stones, if we've got an athlete like Mark with one arm, we can't adapt the stone, we can't change the stone and ask the stone to have a handle on it. So what we do is we adapt the way we are to be able to lift the stone. Same with Davey Dent, we adapted with him last year for him to be able to throw the caber from his wheelchair. This year, we've got Mark, we've got Kieran, who with again one good arm, want to throw the sheath toss. So we're having to adapt our equipment so that they can. Where if I
thinking of innovative way, innovative. I think that's the word. Yeah, innovative. Innovative. That's the one. Innovative ways of adapting adapting the technique.
Yeah, the way I see it, there's only one person saying I can't toss that caber at the minute, and that's me. That's because I want to do it safely. I want to do it properly, and I want to be able to get a good result. And until I come up with a way, maybe this deadlift strap would help me do it. I don't know, because it's going to pretty much look like my deadlift strap. So with one single arm on the bar, I can get to 180 deadlift. With my deadlift strap on the bar, I've not got a PB. I put 240 on, it went up on the way back down. I was put more weight on, put 260 on, it snapped on the way up. So I've not got a PB for that. Because if you look on the rule of I've only got one arm on the bar, if I had two arms on the bar and I was lifting 180, then that's technically I'm lifting 340. So, or maybe a bit more. Do you know what I mean? So it's 360. So if I can lift 360 on a deadlift with that strap, I know for a full fact I will be able to toss that caber with some form of control on my right side. So with this strap that Jamie's developing, I could be tossing the caber next year. I could be tossing anything. I'll compete in all games next year. I'll compete in whether it's Whether the games haven't got adapted, I'm still a competing. I'm still thrown fair enough. I'm good enough to compete in the Open.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? It's the ways that we go about it. It's only, like I said, there's only one person stopping me from tossing that caber, and that's myself at the minute, because I want to do it. I need to find my way of doing it. And with Jamie developing this strap or this sling, whatever we're going to call it, that might be the case. So then that caber will get flipped and flipped and flipped. So it's only yourself. When you look at all these games, when you look at any sport, okay? You look at any sport.
Mentality.
I know football. I know professional football players in a professional disabled team with one leg. You know what I mean? It's about, you know, like I keep saying, it's mind over body. The only person that's going to stop you from doing something is yourself. That's it, done. So it's more about finding that way, find your way. It's like, I don't tie my shoelaces the same way as you do, but I don't want to wear slip-on shoes or Velcro shoes, so I tie my laces my way.
Yeah.
I'm still tied, and I get to do it every morning. So it's finding that way, which, to be fair, it can be frustrating from my personal experience. It can be very frustrating until you find your way. When you found your way, there's nothing stopping it.
Smashing it. But yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to this strap or sling that
I just
getting
can't wait for
designed
the
to be
gym
fair.
to open so I can get that deadlift strap on and get a PB.
This is one of the things that I've been doing for the past, since August last year, but mainly for the past 7, 8, 9 weeks, is not only sort of finding ways of raising money, and then on top of that finding the kit we need, and then obviously making sure we've got the funds for it. It's also things such as ordering Atlas stones, and then obviously speaking to the blokes who make the Atlas stones, and then moving past them to their connections, and then their connections to find somebody down the
Building rapport, baby. Building rapport.
At least take on the challenge. If I said to them, about Spartan has got one of these smaller sort of double-handed straps for people to lift stones with. So I said to them, well, I've got 2 lads there who only use one arm, and they roll the Atlas stones up onto the legs, and then pick them up with one arm and put them down. I went, but it isn't the weight that is stopping them. It's the one.
Yeah.
So
because you need to get your arm round the 70% of the surface area, won't you? So you can get a good enough grip to get up onto the barrel.
He said he has got a contact who would probably be interested in talking about it. So obviously that's when I put him in contact with Mark, and obviously they've spoken about it. Between the two of them, they're moving forward. So without adapting the Atlas stone lifts, we're adapting the athlete to be able to lift the traditional stone. So, and again, that's done with a sheath toss, where people like athletes with one arm want to throw the sheath with a hair fork over the bar. One arm, that it's not impossible, but it's quite difficult. So we've adapted the way that they'll now hold that pitchfork with a belt, what will fit in one end, so they can then we can work on that. So we're not asking for traditional events to be adapted. We're asking for events to actually open the doors to athletes that have adapted the way they take on the event.
Yeah.
To be fair,
it's like, I'm glad you're making ways with doing that, to be honest, because sometimes that can be the hardest headache in a sense.
And that's
anyway,
what Jim's done now. And that's what people haven't seen.
People do need to realise that's no easy task. You walk up to an association who've done it this way for hundreds and hundreds of years and say, look,
my headache comes from having the answers to questions that I haven't even thought about asking yet. I need every answer back
there,
up
there and ready, with information to back it up.
So that when they ask, I don't have to say, right, I'll have to get back to you.
Yeah.
I can tell you there and then, right, there's the proof, there's the evidence, there it's back up. And even also, here's a video of one of our athletes actually doing it. So next question.
And this is how it's going to stay fair and competitive. This is how, you know what I mean. So you're still doing the action. You still compete.
Exactly. So go back to the stones. You ask any person who's used to lifting stones to do it with one arm, it's going to struggle.
Yeah,
they're going to struggle. You ask an athlete that's used to doing it with one leg. Do you know what I mean? We're not cheating or in a way adapting the actual event. We're just adapting the way we live. You know what I mean? So it's all good. It is all good.
It's it. That's it. But like you say, you've got to have.
Jim's even writing a training manual for adaptive people, whether they're in lower limb, upper limb, muscle. You know what I mean? This is the sort of development that Jim does. He doesn't just go, well, it's all about me and I'm going to do this, this, and this. He doesn't have to write a training manual with someone for one arm. He doesn't have to write a training manual for someone with one leg. He can write a training manual for an athlete.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's hats off to you, mate. We're all done.
It's class, mate. Honestly, when all this is said and done, and we're all up there, and the competing's going ahead, and we get some good material like film and photos and stuff. You know what I mean? And people, it opens people's eyes and stuff. I am sure. Like, I know you don't do it for recognition and stuff, Jim, mate, but geez, like, it's gonna come, mate. It's gonna come. It's gonna come in one way, shape, or form.
The day that I sort of feel that I'd be happy to sit back and say my job is done is when the first official red-chested Highland Games event, other than the May Games, because that is an adaptive event, when the first open official Scottish Highland Games event anywhere in the world invites or allows a British adaptive Highland Games athlete to compete, I'll sit back and say my job's done now. Now it's up to the athletes to prove, not prove me right, prove the people who were allowing it that it was worth doing.
Yeah.
But I don't want to open the door for someone and then have nobody willing to walk through it, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
If you can't walk through a door, mate, because that will need a wide door frame.
Sideways, lads, sideways. Get them carpets through sideways, you know.
I've got no carpets, mate. I've only got one.
But yeah, fellas, right, it's been lovely again. I'm going to have to leave it there. Good luck on Saturday. And we'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll talk about it at length next week. And guys, if you're watching, thank you. First and foremost, Mark hasn't swore, so we shouldn't get a strike. But yeah, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button down below and hit that little bell to make sure you're notified when we post this next video. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure you subscribe and like the stream. It helps us to create more. But yeah,
any questions that you want us to answer?
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Anything you want to ask, any topic you want us to cover, put it in the comments. But yeah, guys, thank you. I'll see you next week. Ta-ra.